So very warm welcome to all the parents and children here. We, Dr. Delna and myself, Dr. Kashmira Gopawala, we welcome all of you all for this eye care seminar. Just a brief introduction about us. We are physiotherapists. We practice in South Mumbai. We are practicing in South Mumbai since the past 11 years. And we have our online physiotherapy consultations and treatments that we are giving across the globe. We have our clients all over the world. And we have been doing some group classes on various health topics of physiotherapy. Many of you all are members of our classes, and some of you all are new to us. So this is just for the new members, a brief introduction about us. Yes, we've been doing classes on various physiotherapy related topics, health related topics. We lately completed a very important topic class, which is on eye care for adults. Some of you all were our members for the eye care class as well. And after our class, we got some amazing feedback from our members that many of their visions improved, their eye numbers went down, and a lot of that. And this intrigued us to start classes for children as well, so that they can be benefited from the eye exercises. So basically, we came up with this whole idea of starting this eye exercise class for children is because now, as all of you all know, that the entire schooling process has been converted to the online platform, right? Your children are no longer currently going to schools and studying, but it's all happening on an online platform. So the time which the children are spending on a digital platform has multiplied by many folds. And then this becomes very, very important for us to do something for the eye care, right? So this entire seminar, free seminar, has been organized to make you understand the basic anatomy of the eye, how the eye gets connected to the brain, and how this entire process gets affected when you spend a lot of time on the screen. Okay, so now to begin with, we will just ask one question and we want you all to answer in the chat box that how many hours does your child spend on the computer or on the desktop or on the phone? So put that in the chat box so we get an idea as to how much this particular group is spending time on the, yes, 6 hours. Only one student has written. Yes, you all are now experts using the chat box, I'm sure. Yes. Yes. Okay. So the range is from 2 hours to 15 hours. Yes. So 15 hours is, yes, definitely a way lot. And I'm sure that's one parent who has written the right number. Those who have written 4 and 5 hours, I think they have not calculated the amount of time the child then spends on the phone and then spends on the tablet, etc., etc. So parents have been very kind to their children if parents have written the answers. And children have been kind to themselves by writing less numbers, but parents who have written 8, 12, 15 hours, that's really the right answer, because we know it. Children are spending more than 7 to 8 hours on the computer screens, on the mobile screens and the digital platform very, very much these days. And that's definitely more than 7 to 8 hours for most children. Yes, and today we will see and learn how this spending long hours on the screen could affect the children's eyes. Before we go to how the computer screen is affecting the eyes, we will first study and learn as to how the structure of our eye is, how it is connected to the brain. And that's really interesting to know for parents as well as for children. So just have a look at this diagram. So this will make you understand what your eye is all about. Yes. Okay. So can everyone see this photograph? Yes. Yeah. So this is what happens when we look at any object. When you look at an object, that object forms an image behind on the eye, ear. Okay. And then that image is carried to the brain. Yes, and the area in the brain over here, which is called as the visual cortex area of the brain, processes that image and then it sends signals back through the nerve to your eye, and then you can see whatever object you are looking at. So say we are here looking at this. We are looking at this apple. Okay, so the wavelengths from the apple go into the eye from the front area. It goes to the back aspect of the eye. From here, the signals travel to the brain. The brain processes it. Then it gets processed again. And then the signals come to your eye, and your eye can say that, okay, we are looking at an apple. Now your eye has various parts in it. Okay. So we just have a look at that. So this track which we were looking at is the optic nerve of the eye, which is carrying the signals from the eye to the brain. Okay, so that is one aspect. Then in the brain, you have various neurons. Okay, there are small cells in the brain which process this information. Okay, then the back aspect of your eye, this is the retina. Okay, where the image falls. Okay. The central point is called as the macula. So when you look at anything that is very fine and intricate, it's basically you're looking at the macula, and that is forming an image on the that makes you see the small intricate things of the object. So in the childhood, we are able to see the minutest details, what parents can't see. Children pick up very fast. Okay, see, there is a small thing here, there is a small bump here, right? So that is because the macula is very strong and powerful in them. So it can give you the minute details of the object. Yeah, you have your lens in the center. You have the cornea in the front, okay? And a variation in the cornea. So if it flattens or if it expands, this causes what is the major problem with children is getting the spectacles. Yes. So if there is any distortion in the eye cornea, the child starts getting either, mostly you get far-sighted glasses. Yes, children can see nearby things very well, but the far-sighted vision gets affected, and that's because of the cornea, which is the covering of the eye. Yes. So this is the basic anatomy as to how your eye functions when you are looking at any object. So first your eye looks at it, then the nerves take the signals to your brain, the brain processes it, and then it tells you that, okay, you are looking at the screen right now on which Dr. Kashmira is talking. Otherwise, if there is no processing which is happening at the level of the brain, even if your eye is visualizing something, you cannot see. Now, why are we giving so much importance to all these three aspects? Is because many a times we are just working on one component, like we are only working on, say, eyes, or we are only working on the nerves or stimulating the eyes, but we forget the major component, which is the brain behind. So if the visual area of your brain, okay, if we stimulate that, your vision can improve. So it's not just talking about our eye care, is not just going to talk about eyes, but it's also going to tap into the visual cortex of the brain, wherein you can then improve your vision. Okay. Is this getting clear to everyone right now? Is everyone understanding what we are saying? If yes, do this. Do this. Yes. Very good. Very nice. Okay. That's good. So now, so this was just a basic anatomy of the eyes. And whenever we are working with the eyes, we need to keep into target all these three components. That's the physical eye, the wires, that is the optic nerves which connect your eye to the brain, and the visual cortex area in the brain. If we improve the function of all these three, yes, then your entire vision can be improved. Okay. So this is our target organs, the eye, the nerves, and the cells of the brain. Now let us see what and how does the computers and the digital media. So it could, we would be saying computer, but it just does not mean the computer. We also take into consideration the laptops, the tablets, and your best friend. What? Yes, can people say what it is? Mobile phone. Yes, it is the current best friend for everyone. Yes, we don't bother anyone telling us anything also if our mobile is with us. Yes, so when we say computer, we mean to say all these things together. Yeah, so video games. Yes, yes, of course, video games which are played on your mobile and your tablets. So we are going to talk about one very important syndrome which has come up and which is right now in the limelight, which is the computer vision syndrome. Yes, and this is very, very common currently in the elderly people. It is common in the elderly people who are working on the computer, but not only in the elderly, but it is very, very common currently in the kids, the computer vision syndrome, and more so right now because of the pandemic, because children are spending a lot of time on the computers and on the digital media. Now, what is computer vision syndrome and why does this particular thing happen? So because of long hours of working on the computer, what is happening is that there are structural changes which are happening in our eyes. Now, why so? Okay, now first we will give you an example of a physical muscle in the body because it's easy to understand that. Okay, now if somebody has a job of picking up an object and putting it on the shelf like this, a monotonous job. Okay, so he has to pick up one object from the floor and put it up on the shelf. Yeah. So now just imagine that you are that person and you have to pick up that object and put it up on a shelf. Pick up the object and put it up on the shelf. You have to do this 100 times. Come on, everyone, imagine that you have to pick up an object from the floor and put it up on a shelf above. And you have to do this 100 times every hour. And you have to work for 6 hours. Okay? Aren't you feeling a pain in your shoulder right now only? Just imagining that you have to do this 100 times. Yes? Yeah, that imagination, that thought itself is showing that how much fatigue your hands would be feeling if you do this repetitive activity. Okay, now this is a big activity which we have shown where you are obviously seeing that you are lifting an object, putting it, lifting, putting it. Okay, but this is what is happening with your eyes. Okay, now when you are in a lecture, yes, your teacher is saying something and your teacher says, okay, come on, look into your books. So you will look into the book down. Then you look at the teacher. You look at the book. You look at the teacher. Then teacher will say, chalo, come on, write this note. So you will start writing. You will look, teacher is showing something on the screen. You will look down, up, down, up, down. So in a lecture of say 1 hour or 45 minutes, you will be looking down and looking up, looking down and looking up more than 50 to 100 times. Yes. And also you will be focusing on the screen. Then mummy is cooking something. Your eyes will go, okay, mummy is cooking. Oh, biryani today. Nice. Then you'll again look at the screen. You will start concentrating. Teacher is saying something. I should be Then mommy is bringing a glass of water for you. You will look there again. So do you see how many times your eye is going focus out, focus in, down, up, side? So, and then suddenly the teacher will change the screen. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen. So the screen changes. So again, you have to refocus. Okay, pehle teacher dikh rahi thi. Now suddenly some words are being displayed. Okay, so your eyes have to focus. So refocusing, focusing, changing images which are coming on the screen, all that your eye is working. Yes, and you are not aware of it. Why? Because it is not an obvious big movement. Agar if we say ki chalo stand up, sit, or pick up, throw, this is an obvious movement, right? Which is very visible. And then you will at least understand, ki, oh, I have done this 50 times, now I should stop. Yes, but in case of your eyes, you are not going to realize that because they are small movements. Your eye muscles are very, very, very small. Yes, so you don't see that such movement is continuously happening when you are on the screen for such a long time. Yes, and then what happens is your eye muscles are bound to get tired. Like how you all felt the tiredness and pain in your shoulders just by imagining the picking of the things. Similarly, your eyes who are actually going through that entire process of opening, looking down, up, etc. It is undergoing fatigue. Your eye muscles are undergoing fatigue. Fatigue means tiredness. Okay. And then when you put that particular thing to so much of tiredness, it is bound to fail. Now, how do the eye muscles fail? They will stop doing their work partially. So when any muscle stops doing its work partially, the repercussion is that the structure, okay, starts getting affected. Now in elderly, in adults, if you are doing this particular activity of lifting and throwing, after some time your muscles will give way. Then what will happen? The joint will start getting injured. The muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, they will start getting injured. Similarly, your eyes have the cornea, the lens, okay? All that will then take the strain when your eye muscles are not standing strong. And they will not be able to stand strong because no matter how, you are putting it to so much strain, it is going to fatigue. And then the strain comes on the structure of your eyes. And that is why currently there are so many exponential increase in cases of children getting glasses. Yes. So children didn't have glasses before the pandemic, but almost 20 to 30% plus children have got glasses just during the pandemic. And not only got glasses, their eye numbers, if they had a number of 0.1, 0.5, 0.3, whatever, has increased. Yes. How many of your children here have experienced an increase in the eye number or glasses during the pandemic? Anyone here? If yes, just put a yes in the chat box. Okay. Yes. Yes. I'm sure there must be many. Yes. Right. So it is very important, like once things settle and open up, do get your children's eyes tested because we have been working with some ophthals and we have got reviews from the ophthals, and the research also says that during the pandemic, the numbers have increased and many children who didn't have spectacles have started getting spectacles. And the root cause behind this is that it is because of this fatigue in the eye muscles, which then goes on to the structure of the eye, and the structure of the eye takes the toll, and there is changes in the anatomy, and you get the number, which is the spectacles. Yes. Now, another very common cause for, so one was the repetitive eye movement. We are going to take a test after this. Huh? So you all have to listen. Yes. And then there is a gift to the one who answers all the test questions right. So I'm putting it in question and answer form only, teaching in question and answer. So you have to answer the questions afterwards. And I'll ask the questions, to whom? Not to children, to mothers and fathers who are sitting. Yes. So they have to be more attentive. Okay. So the first thing was repetitive movement. Yes. currently looking down, up, side, focusing, refocusing, okay, managing the glare, managing the contrast. Suddenly teacher is in white, then background becomes black. Okay, the eye is going through so much. Yeah, so all that the eye muscles have to manage. Yes, so that is one factor. The second factor is that while you're looking at the screen, you are glued to the screen. Yes, so you do not blink your eyes. Okay, research has again proved that while you are on the computer screen or you are on the mobile or tablet, you do not blink your eyes as often as you should be blinking. You just keep looking at it. Okay, now we will do a 1 minute experiment. All of you all, you're not looking at the going to look at the screen. You will look at something which is right in front of you. Okay, not at the screen. And we will put a timer and we will keep the eyes not blinking for 1 minute. When I tell you to start, you will start. Okay. Okay, everyone is ready? Yes? Okay, so now we start. Do not blink your eyes. Straight, look straight, not at me, not at the screen. Look straight, somewhere else. Don't blink your eyes. Don't blink your eyes, and we are looking, we are watching you all. Yeah, so people are putting their cameras off immediately so that we don't see them. Don't blink your eyes. 30 seconds more. Don't blink your eyes. Oh, Preeti has already blinked. Very good. 15 more seconds. Okay, just 5 more seconds. Okay, done. You all can blink now. Okay. So did you all see how difficult it was to just keep the eyes open for just 1 minute? It was only 1 minute, right? And see, Pranav is already, eyes are watering. Others also, there are some of them, it is watering. So this is what happens to our eyes when we just keep them open for a long time. Now, right now, we made you look into the environment and not at the screen. Yes, but when you're looking at the screen, what happens is you don't realize this, that you have not blinked your eye for a very long time. And it's not just minute, not just 1 minute, it happens for couple of minutes, and sometimes for even more than 3 to 5 minutes, we don't blink our eyes. Yes, ideally we must blink our eyes 5 to 7 times every minute, but that does not happen when you are on the computer screen. And the unfortunate part of it is that you don't realize it, that we have not blinked our eyes for such a long time. And right now the discomfort which you felt just for 1 minute not blinking your eyes, it started feeling little burning. If I would have told you to continue for 2 more minutes, you would have felt it. Burning, dropping of tears from the eyes. Yes, so this is all natural mechanism which your body tells, okay, come on boss, you have not blinked, start blinking. This natural mechanism is put to a standstill when you are on the computer screen. Okay, so your body also naturally does not tell you that you have to blink, and these symptoms don't happen when you are on the computer screen. They don't happen at that time, but the eye is going through it. Yes, so after a period of time, you will see that there is little bit of blurring of vision which is happening. So after 3 hours of work or 5 hours of work, your eyes start feeling tired, you start feeling little headache. Yeah, adults may also be going through this, not only children. Yeah, in severe cases there is burning, you feel like rubbing your eyes. Yes, do you all feel like doing all that? Yes, you feel like rubbing, you feel like, oh, I need something, oh, head is aching, the vision starts becoming blurred. Teacher was looking fresh earlier, ab teacher aisi kyun lag rahi hai? Nothing has happened to the teacher. Your eyes are now seeing the things blurred. Okay, so the blurring of vision happens, there is eye irritation, and then the next thing which takes over, क्योंकि टीचर के सामने तो हमें दिखाना ही है कि we are attentive, we are good students, we are listening. So we will now try to strain ourselves and sit and see कि हाँ देखना तो है. So what will happen? The next things that take up is your neck. So your neck will be strained. You will, what you will do? First you were sitting normally. Now you will sit like this. Yeah, I'm listening, ma'am. Yes, that way. Yeah, so you will go into a forward head posture. Okay, so then the neck will start paining. Yeah, we spoke about posture in our posture care seminar that we took first, that is last month that we took. So you go into the forward head posture. So neck will pain, then obviously the entire spine is connected, so your back will pain. So kabhi you may not understand that the problem started from the vision and then it gave you a neck pain and a back pain. So even if your child is complaining of neck and back pain, do see to it that the vision could be the primary cause of it, because they are focusing a lot, they are not blinking, repetitive eye movements is forcing them to get into a forward head posture like this, and then the neck and the spine is taking the toll, and then that is what is hurting them. Okay. So these are the symptoms. So when your child goes into these symptoms of blurring of vision, rubbing the eyes, watering of the eyes afterwards, not during the during their session with the on the screen, but afterwards, if you see these symptoms, okay, irritation, redness of eyes, neck pain, back pain, yes, these are all symptoms which are pointing towards going into computer eye syndrome. Okay, and you need to get alarmed that we need to do something about it. Okay, is this much clear to everyone? Yes? Yes? If yes, put a yes in the chat box. Put a yes in the chat box. If I don't get yeses, then I'll again repeat the whole thing and not go to the main point. So quickly put yes. Otherwise, I'll repeat the lecture. So everyone is quickly putting the yes now. Very good. Very nice. Okay. Good. Yes. Very nice. Okay. So now we go on to the problem to humko pata chal gaya. Now we have to work on the solution. What to do about this problem. So there are some simple things that you can do about this problem. So we'll go step by step. Okay. So first we look at the environment. So first we try to fix everything in the environment to our favor. Yes, so that everything in the environment is favorable. Taki, we cannot say कि, oh, all this problem is going to happen, we are not going to attend school only. That we can't. That choice we don't have. We have to attend school. We cannot tell COVID go away fast. We want to start our physical school. That is also not in our hands. So things which are in our hands, that we will work with. Okay. So first thing that we work with is the position where your child is sitting and working on the computer or on the tablet is that very important. Okay. Now there is one very important thing which comes into play is the glare. Okay. When you are working on the computer, if there is a glare coming, glare means if there is a window by the side and the glare, the light from the window is coming on the screen. Okay. That produces a glare. So already we have to look at the screen. On top of it, there is this glare coming. So you are also seeing trees outside the window on the screen. Okay, all this happens because of glare. Seeing on the screen something which is not off the screen. Okay, so right now off the screen is what? Right now you should be able to see only me. Yeah, and this background white image around me. Okay, other than that, whatever you are seeing on the screen is because of the glare. Okay, so if you are seeing a shadow of a tree, or if you are seeing your wall clock on it, or if you are seeing your tube light on it, or if you are seeing your fan shadow, yeah, all that is because of glare. Okay, so you have to cut the glare. Yeah, so you keep your position in such a way that the glare of the light does not fall on your screen. Okay, so reposition yourself. Reposition. It can be very simple, just shifting the face of the laptop and your glare can get cut. Yeah, so you have to do those little permutation combinations and you have to fix the glare so that glare doesn't fall on the screen, and on the screen you only see what is off the screen. Okay, and nothing beyond that. So that is the first thing you have to do. So you have to keep curtains on your windows so that glare doesn't come from there. You shift your camera, the position of your laptop in a way so that glare doesn't come. See to it that a tube light is not there behind, which is putting the glare on the screen. Okay, what more can you do is there are shades also which are available, yeah, which are called anti-glare shades. So you can just get that shade also. So if you just put that, then all the glare from outside will get cut, and then you don't get any glare on your computer screen. Okay, so this is the first thing that you must do, because glare is the worst. If there is a glare which is coming and you're seeing the computer through the glare, then that is worst for your eyes. Okay, so that glare should be cut. Yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing is you have to position your screen in such a way, this is very important, that the eyes don't get strained. Okay, now we'll just show you an ideal posture as to how the screen should be positioned. Just 1 second. Yeah. So can you all see the screen? Yes. So the screen should be around 20 to 24 inches away from the head. Okay, this much distance should be there between the head on the and the screen. Okay, then the top part of your screen should be, this is the top of your headline. This is your eyebrow line. It should be slightly below the eyebrow line. Okay, so this is where your computer screen should hit your face. So if the screen is very much high, your child will have to look up. If it is low, your child will have to look down. Okay, so the top of the screen should be at eye level, so that when the child is looking at the, see, normally we don't look at the top, center mein dekhte hain hum log. So your child has to see through the lower vision. Okay, the central part. So the top should be at the eye level. Okay, this is very important when it comes to the eyes. How your eyes will be comfortable if it is around 20 to 24 inches away and slightly below, the top of the computer screen should be slightly below the eye level. Okay, is this understood? Yes. So this will give you a proper positioning. We are not going into the spine positioning and all that right now, because we've already covered that in our posture care seminar. So we won't go into those ergonomic details because we have to concentrate on the eyes part of it. Okay. So this is the second thing that you will do. So first was what? First was what? Come on. Right? Who will, the one who writes the answer first, I'll give them a gift. Naz, okay. Glare, yes, cut the glare. Okay, Naz, you let me know on WhatsApp, you're going to get a gift. Okay, yes. So now we go on to the next thing. Okay, now you all won't get. Now those who are answering. The first one got it. Okay, so you cut the glare. Second was you position your ergonomics, that is you be away 20 to 24 inches away from the screen and slightly below the screen. Okay, this is the second thing. Now the third thing. Okay, what did we say? What fatigues the eye? The repetitive down and up movement, right? So what you do is you get a stand, okay, and get it placed very close to the screen at the eye level, so that where you had to look completely down and completely up, completely down and completely up, you don't have to make such wide movements, and the book or your page or whatever your teacher is taking, that can be placed right next to you on a stand. Okay, so get a stand and get your book or anything placed on the stand there, so that your child has to just do a minimal movement. So teacher said, okay, x plus x, whatever. So here the x plus x, whatever. that way. Okay, so that minimal movement is required. So you get a stand and get it placed at the eye level, so that the eye does not have to go around the world to see into the book. Okay, so that is the next thing. Now the fourth thing that you have to do is you have to give the eye a eye break. Okay, we get breaks in the, do you all get breaks during online sessions, online school? Yes. Yes, we'll answer that question, Neha. Yes, you all get a break, and that is after how many hours? No break? Yes, you get break after how many hours? 1 hour. After every hour you get a break? After 45 minutes you get a break. Okay. Okay, after an hour. All right. So after one lecture, possibly you all must be getting a break before the next lecture starts. But minimum duration of the lecture is 40 minutes, and children, with children, I'm sure in 40 minutes the teacher could not be completing the lecture. So it must be extending to 45 minutes to an hour. Right? Now that much time is too much for the eye. The eye will get fatigued in that much time. So after every 20 minutes, okay, now this is very important. 20 20 20 rule. Okay, so after every 20 minutes, yes, the child has to look away from the screen at a distance of 20 feet. Okay, for 20 seconds. That's called as the eye break. Okay, so after every 20 minutes, okay, you can put a small reminder in the child's phone. After every 20 minutes, something should beep and the child should look away from the screen. If you can, if you have a window or anything and the child can look at the greenery outside, amazing. If not, anything away at a 20 feet distance is fine. Yeah, let the child look there, and for 20 seconds, his eye or her eye should be off the screen. Yes, that will prevent the eye muscles from going into severe fatigue. Okay, is that understood? Yes, and what one more important thing that the children should be reminded to do? Can anyone guess? Let me see if someone can guess. Posture, was, eyes, water, blink. Yes, Yatharth and Sejal. Okay, Yatharth and Sejal, please WhatsApp me afterwards. You will also get something from us. So, blinking of the eyes. Yes, blinking of the eyes is very, very important, and that should be set as a reminder. Now, in abroad, in offices, what they do is there is a little emoji which comes on the screen, which keeps blinking its eye, and it goes like this. Okay, if you all can get such emojis, you all know technical things. I think I'm sure children know technical things much more than us. So if you can get some emoji which just comes, and after every 10 minutes or 2 minutes, it just comes blinking on the screen, it will be a reminder. Yes, or you have to consciously remind yourself that blink. Yeah, so consciously remind your children to blink their eyes. Okay, that is a conscious effort which you have to do, because the natural mechanism is stopped because of the screen. So you have to consciously blink your eyes, and ideally 7 times a minute, but of course every minute you may not remember. So whenever it comes to the mind, or if you can put that blinking thing on the screen which just comes after some time, it blinks, so it reminds you have to blink, so you blink along with it. So that will take care of the blinking part of the thing, and which is again very, very important, because if you blink your eyes, almost 30 to 40% of the problem is sorted if the eyes are blinked very often, because not blinking the eyes creates dryness in the eyes, and dry eyes is, we'll answer the questions later. And dry eyes is what causes all the problems of itchiness, of what later on watering, rubbing, irritation, all that is caused because of dry eyes. Yes, and if you blink your eyes at regular intervals, these problems can be well prevented. So that is another one thing. And one more thing that you can do changing the environment is that you can change the settings of your computer, of your laptop. Now, normally what happens is, what settings a person from whom you have bought the tablet or computer gives you, that settings only you live with it. Yeah, but there are settings, there is a full settings screen option in your computer, which you can use and change the settings. So you can change the contrast, you can change the brightness, you can change the font size, right? You can change all those settings to something that is very much suitable to your eyes. So you start changing the contrast of your computer and see, this is hitting my eye, this is soft, this is cool, this is pleasant. So go for that contrast. Okay, go for that brightness and go for that font size. Yes, that will reduce a lot of strain which is falling on your eyes. Okay, so these are some minor changes, but giving very good major results if you do your environmental changes, because you have to work on the computer. You don't have a choice there, but you have a choice to change and make your environment perfectly suitable. So this is external. Now, what do? The next, we can do something internally, right? So what can we do internally? Yeah. So say if your job demanded that you are going to lift a box and put it up on the shelf, you have to do that job for your livelihood. Then what will you do? Yes, what will you do? You will strengthen those muscles, right? So those muscles which are going to, yes, parents will think that food is only thing that their child always requires. But there is something beyond food also. Yes, you're very right. Who has written good food habits? Yes, good food habits, definitely very important. We are going to have a seminar on good food habits as well. That is one thing. But if you have to lift and put a box, no matter how much you eat, but if your muscle is weak, it is not going to be possible for you to do that tedious work. Correct? So you have to strengthen your muscle. So if your muscle is strong, it will take care of this activity to which you are putting it. Yes. Similarly, if you strengthen, yes, exercises. So if you strengthen your eye muscles, yeah, then it will take the load that you are putting on it, right? So if your eye muscles are strong, yes, they will take care of the strain that you are putting on it. So eye muscle exercises are very, very, very important. And there are various muscles in the eye, though it is just this much, yes, in size, but there are various muscles in the eyes which need to be targeted individually. And we have designed an entire program wherein we are working on each and every muscle of the eye and strengthening them so that they are ready for this work. Yes, we don't even know how many movements our eyes go through. Yes, so there are that many muscles in the eyes and each of them needs to be strengthened. So eye muscle strengthening exercises are very, very important and they have a crucial role to play during our eye classes, eye exercises. So if you're strong internally, then you can take the external blows, correct? So you have to strengthen. बाहर से preparation कर दिया, पर अगर हम ही weak है, so whatever you are doing from outside is not going to help. So you have to strengthen your eyes. The other thing that you have to do is, yes, it is the exercises. The other thing that you have to do is you have to do some eye relaxation techniques. Now the eye has got, we've not gone into the complete anatomy, but the middle of the eye has got fluid in it. And this fluid pressure is there in the eyes. And that pressure rises when you put your eyes to strain. So you have to get the fluid pressure down. For that, there are a lot of relaxation techniques that you need to do for your eyes so that the eyes are relaxed and the eye pressure remains normal. If the eye pressure remains normal, it does not push the cornea into changing its shape and you do not get an eye number. Or if you have got an eye number, it resettles the pressure and it reduces the number. So eye relaxation techniques are very, very important. And the third thing that you need to work on, if you all remember in the starting part of the theory, we spoke that the eye is connected to the brain, and the brain is the one which is actually processing everything and telling your eyes what you are seeing. Yes. Now in our brain, now this also you all may not have heard, but we are only using 2 to 3% of our brain. Do we know that? Yes. Yes, we know that. So we are not using our entire brain. Yes, our brain has lot of potential which we don't tap into. Yes, but when we start working on the neurons of the brain, we can activate the dormant neurons in your brain. By neurons, I mean the cells. The brain has millions of small cells, of which only few are active, which is responsible for our normal vision. Okay. Now, when slowly, like children see better, adults have problems in vision. Why? Because some of the cells start becoming dormant. They start losing their capacity, and some are dormant since childhood itself. So we can tap into the dormant cells of the brain, the dormant neurons, and make them active. And if they fire better, your vision becomes much better, much more stronger, much more clearer, and you can take this external stress on the vision. So we can work on all these three areas of the brain when the brain, the eyes, and the relaxation part of it. Yes. So this is how you make yourself internally strong so that you can work on the external. So the least you can do is change the external environment as we have advised. Hope you all have taken down the notes. We will be putting up the recording for a few days so you can go through it. And the next is you make yourself strong. You work on your exercises. You work on the relaxation. There are various techniques which tap into the brain as well. And all of that can be used to improve your vision in totality. So this is about what we wanted to teach you all today. If anyone has any questions, you all can raise your virtual hands, and we will one by one take your questions. Yes. And if anyone wants to do any sharing, I have a couple of people I see. A couple of them like Almas, Benaz here who have attended our eye classes. So in case if you wish to share, we can allow you to share a few things about it, but there's no compulsion. If not, it's perfectly fine. So yes, children can put their hands up and we'll take the questions one by one. So don't unmute yourself, everyone, right now. Please don't unmute yourself. Only when we ask you, yes. Only when we ask you to unmute yourself, we unmute yourself, speak, and then mute yourself again so that there is no disturbance, right? So we'll give the unmute right now. We first just look at the chat box. There are a couple of questions there. If you keep your phone screen brightness less bright, then is it harmful for your eyes? No, this I would like to take this question a little more in detail. The brightness of the phone, is not a problem. If the phone is reasonably bright, it's fine, but it should not be very bright. But it should not be very dull as well. So you should set the brightness somewhere in a midpoint. One very important thing which, thank you whoever has put up that question, we wanted to mention that during the night hours, okay, do not watch the phone when the lights are off. This is a 90% problem which people do, that we watch the phones when the light is off. Your room light is off. That worsens the strain on the eyes. So let the lights of the room be on when you are using your phones or tablets or mobiles in the night. It has its natural light, but that comes with a lot of strain on the eyes. So the environment should be bright when you are using it. In the night, do not use your phones with your lights off. Okay, and brightness should be set in midpoint. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Now we'll just take the yeah, there's one more question. Can you please suggest some drops for kids to use on a regular basis? See, we cannot suggest drops like that because it depends on what is the issue, and accordingly there are drops. But there are some over-counter drops which are available, which are Tear Naturals, etc. You can check with your GP and then you can get them and put it. Refresh, Tear Natural. There are some drops like that which are over-counter. They can be used. Yes. Are you? Yes. Okay. Now, one more question. Let's see. Yes, we are going to have an eye exercise session, an eye exercise class, wherein we are going to teach. There'll be different classes where one we will be teaching eye exercises, one we will be teaching how to stimulate the brain, and one we will be teaching a lot of visual conflicts. We will give one example right now, since you all have been so sincerely attending. So we'll just share one photograph right now. So this is what we do to stimulate the visual cortex in the brain. Yeah. So all of you all can see this image on the screen. Okay. We want all of you all to concentrate on the center point. Okay, look at the center. Look at the center of this image. Just keep looking at the center. Now, if you can imagine these as long bars. Yes, and this is a center deep which is going inside. And now keep looking at the center and just move your body front and back. Move your body front and back. Looking at the center, just move your body front and back, and you will see how the image, the entire image looks different to you when you do that. And keep blinking your eyes in between. And then move your body side to side, and you will see as if spokes of light are circulating. Just shift your body side to side. Yes. Yeah. Okay. We stopped sharing. Could you all make out a difference when you were doing this? Yes. So this stimulates your visual cortex. So there are many such exercises that we design using various images, photographs, swinging items, and all of that, which stimulates your visual cortex, and it improves in vision. There are a lot of things. You have depth perception, how deep the thing is. So there are exercises to know the depth perception. Then there is perception of colors, because whatever you are seeing, you are differentiating and distinguishing that based on colors. So there is a lot of color therapy that we use to stimulate the eyes and the brain. So that is also a part of what we teach. So we can use different colors and stimulate different areas and receptors of the brain. So that is another part. Depth is one part. Shades of colors is another part. Then using some strong colors to stimulate the dormant neurons in the brain, that is one part. So they are all adjacent parts of what we do to strengthen the eyes. What we just showed is one of the visual conflicts that we create, and we stimulate the visual area. There's a lot that you do with that image, but we are running short of time right now. So we'll take the questions now. Yes, Kainaz, you can go with your question first. Yes, Kainaz, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Aloe vera gel. Can you help? Can you suggest any homemade ways to, exercise the eyes?
Yes, you can use aloe vera gel. We also advise a slice of potato. You can just cut potato, put it in slice a potato, put that in cool water, and just put that over the eyes. That's very, very soothing, and it gives, potato has a large component of starch, so that nourishes the eye, and it helps a lot with the dryness of the eyes as well. So, and there are quite a few other such concoctions, but potato slice is something that you can use. You can use gulab jal, yes. You can use aloe vera gel pads also, which come. You can use them as well. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Welcome. Preeti, you can go on. Preeti Mandyani. Yeah, cucumber and all that is fine. But recent studies have shown potato slices to be very effective. Yes, Preeti.
Doctor, I have got here the glands which we have in the lower lids, they are blocked. So I have shown to my eye doctor. He has suggested me this Evolve Eye Pack to be kept by heating it on microwave for 30 seconds and then using it for 10 minutes every day at night. It has helped me a lot, but still I feel some irritation or something, whatever is touching here on this side, it gets, the eye portion gets red, or sometimes there is swelling on the eyelids. It is on and off, coming and going. He has
Yes,
given me an Occupil some ointment to be applied, but that has got steroids. So he suggested to apply it only for 5 days, not more than that. And very
Right.
little. Anything can help me because
Yes.
I'm getting the skin is becoming dry and I cannot use any moisturizer in this area. Allergic.
Right, right. So you can try what I just mentioned, the potato slice. That will definitely help. Other than that, what happens with when you have some other ophthalmic problem, like you have this blocking of the glands over your. Some people have glaucoma. Some people have other issues like cataract, macular degeneration, etc. These are all pathological problems with the eyes. And when you have any pathological problem with your eye, automatically what will happen is somebody has some problem with the eye. Now you want to see something. So you're going to put more strain. You're going to put more focus. You're going to strain the eyes more. So you're again adding to the stress and the fatigue on the eye muscles and the eye pressure. Yes. So that can very well be helped if you strengthen your eyeball muscles, if you reduce your eye pressure, so that see your natural problem which is there, the organic problem, that will take its toll. Yeah, that has to be done with the ophthalmic part of it. But when this problem is there, yes, what you are using. Yeah, but you have to support your problem. So if you have strong warriors, like your eyeball muscles are strong, your eye is relaxed, yes, then it can assist you better in your problem. You see, so they at least, because 50% of your issue is because of your original problem, what you have, but rest 50%, or I would say 50+% is because of the adjunct, because the other things are getting more stressed because of your original problem. And that is how many members who joined our eye exercise classes, we never claimed that we will treat your cataract or we will treat your macular degeneration, because that is not what we are aiming at. But what we are aiming at is because of the primary problem, the secondary issues which are actually making a bigger problem, they get sorted. And that is how visions improve.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes. Salima, you can take it. And then Preeti, after Salima, Preeti Dhanuka, you can.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask you that if the screen's brightness, it is very low, so it like, would it cause something to our eyes? Would it be harmful for our eyes?
Yes, if your brightness is very low, Salima, then you will have to strain more, right? If it is very low, then your eyes will get more fatigue. So you have to bring the brightness little up. Yeah.
So
but
would it lead to glasses?
Sorry?
Would it lead to glasses?
Yes, it can lead to glasses, because if you are looking at a dull screen, yeah, then you will have to look more intently at it, correct? And then your eye muscles will get fatigued. Eye muscles will get fatigued. Then it will all put the load on your eye structure, the lens and the cornea, and then they will get deformed. And then you will get glasses. So you have to get the brightness set right.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, dear. Yes, Preeti.
Yes, my daughter is 17 and she remains on the screen for 14 to 15 hours. So she many times have headache.
Yes.
So what shall I do at that time?
Yes, so this is again a very common problem. Why this happens? We explained it during the class. When you are on the screen for a very long time, your eye muscles get fatigued, and then you tend to have a forward head posture like this. Now, this posture affects all the nerves which are there on the top of the spine, the neck. Yeah, and they start getting irritated, and then they give headaches. So this is how headaches happen. So both things have to be corrected. The posture has to be corrected with correct neck exercises, and the eyes have to be corrected with the eye muscle strengthening and relaxation techniques, and of course working on the brain as well, so that everything is strong, so she can take that much load which is coming on her eyes. So it comes from the eyes mainly, these headaches. They are called as cervicogenic headaches, but their origin is particularly when you are working on the screen for long hours, is because of eye strain.
Okay.
So she is into computer vision syndrome.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Hemal, you can take it.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to know, you showed the position of this computer laptop screen.
Yes.
But then most of our children, I'm a teacher, most of our children, they use this mobile. So now mobile, even if you keep it on the table and you keep a mobile stand, but then the vision is like, it is not straight. The vision is your, how to adjust that screen?
Yes.
I just wanted to know.
Yes, yes. Very good question. This can come from a teacher only. So very good question, Hemal. See, when you are using a mobile, yeah, you have to adjust in such a way that the central portion, okay, where your vision is going to go, goes at a little down angle from the eye. So the mobile won't be right up there. Yeah, otherwise, because mobile is small. If you keep mobile at the level of where we showed right now, then it will not, the central won't come there. Yes, the mobile has to be slightly at a lower angle.
Okay, okay.
So that the center, when you drop a line from the center of your eyes, okay, on the center of the screen, it should be a down angled eye.
Okay.
So mobile will be little down. It won't be that high.
Okay, okay. I got it.
Yes, I'll just show you the image once again, just for clarity. Now you look at the central point. Yeah.
Okay.
Here. So if it is the mobile won't be here. The mobile will be here. Yes.
Okay.
That solves your question.
I mean, it will be more down.
It will be more down than the computer
Yes,
screen.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Very good question. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yes. Sachanyani Das. Yes. Sachayani Das, you can take it.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I have this problem, like, while working also, for the day, sometimes in the middle, I feel like a needle-like prick in the eye. So, one eye, left eye. So, I was wondering, like, why does that happen? Like, is there any?
No, sorry, I didn't get your question. What happens?
Just like a needle-like pricking.
Needle-like pricking. Yes, yes. Needle-like pricking is a sign of dry eyes only. So it is because of dry eyes. You can take, as we mentioned about the potato slice, you can put that intermittently. You can also moisten a handkerchief and put it on the face. Yeah, that takes care of the dry eyes part of it. And that is again because of less of blinking. So consciously blink.
Alright.
It should help.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Anyone else has any questions? I see two hands, but I can't. Rupal, yes. Rupal, yes. Rupal, you can take the question.
Ma'am, what is the reason of dark circle?
Dark circles basically happen when you're, there are a couple of reasons for dark circle. One is eye fatigue, which we have explained. Another is lack of complete sleep, a proper full sleep. That is another very common reason for dark circles. Overworking is another one reason, and a little lack of nutrition is also a reason for dark circles.
And ma'am, what should we do for the dark circle?
Yeah, so first you need to find out the cause for it. What is the real cause behind it? Is it that the child is sleeping less? Is it that the child is working much more? Or is he spending a lot of time on the computer screens, which is another very common reason for dark circles? Is there a lack in nutrition? So you'll have to find out the cause, and then you have to accordingly rectify that.
Okay,
Yes?
ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Yes, Yatharth and Sejal, you can take the question.
Good evening, ma'am. I work a lot on the computer and I write a lot. So sometimes my head starts spinning. Is it due to eye fatigue or something else, as you were saying?
Yes, headaches are very common, as I mentioned, with the forward head posture, which we normally adopt while you're working or writing on the computer for a very long time. So they can be the causes for the headache. So you need to strengthen your eyes, you need to correct your posture, you need to have a proper neck position while you're working, and that will take care of the cervicogenic headaches. There's a lot that needs to be done for it. We in fact had a full class on cervicogenic headache. But at least correct your posture, see to it you don't have a lot of forward head, a little bit of chin back exercise, that helps a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Can spinning happen with that?
Welcome. Yes. Anyone else has a question? Yes. Benas, would you like to do some sharing? Since I'm seeing you and you've been a member of our eye class, I would love to hear from you.
Yes, doctor, I very much would love to share my experience. Good evening, friends. I have been a regular attendee of the physiotherapy classes of Del Cash Academy, that is Dr. Delna and Dr. Kashmira's academy. And each and every class of every session has been extremely helpful. With respect to the eye classes, I am a senior citizen and I have undergone my cataract surgery. And post cataract, I had this problem of dry eyes. So after attending the session and doing these exercises, I no longer need the eye drops which had been prescribed to me. And one thing I would like to tell you children, especially about the classes, that you will not find a more kind-hearted teacher. She will teach you all the exercises. That is my experience also, and everybody's in our classes. Doctor teaches you the exercises. She expects you to do your homework, but then when you have not done your homework, she's not a tough taskmaster. She will tell you so kindly that next time on your own, you will be very particular to complete the homework, because you will learn that you're answerable to yourself and nobody else. That is a very important factor. It's a very important psychological factor for all people. You know, children, nobody grows up. There is nothing like second childhood. We are all children at heart. And then we all need a very kind teacher. And each and every class is explained, all the reasons are told to you, why you're doing a particular exercise, which muscle is getting affected. I mean, which muscle is improving when you will do this exercise. So at every point, you know the reason. And once you know the reason, the motivation is all the more. So, doctor, I'm glad that I got an opportunity today to express my feelings, and a special thank you to you. And thanks a million for everything. It's really been a pleasure. Your eyes don't feel very tired after you're on the computer, you know, and you remember you have to look at distant objects, how you have to blink, which are the objects that you have to look. And the color therapy, it was a fascinating experience. And surprising that the color I saw first was not my favorite color. So I also realized, as Dr. taught, which highlight colored pen you have to use. And really that has made a lot of difference also when we are working with our normal work on the laptop, or even in our notes, which is the color we generally go in for yellow because everyone takes. But then I realized that what I required was blue. I bought that highlighter, and yes, on the paper, and now it is more striking. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Benas. Thank you for your sharing. And yes, this is also very important. Like when you are writing and when you are working with paper and pen also, what color combinations you use are also very important for our eye health. So thank you, Benas, for your lovely sharing. Thank you so much. Yes. So if anyone else has any questions or any sharing, they are welcome. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session for today. Almas, would you like to? No. If you want, if you wish to, because you had given us a lovely review after our I class, so I just spotted you.
What Behna just said, I totally second that. I totally second that. It was excellent, and I'm waiting for your next class.
Sure. It's going to come up soon for adults and as well as for children. For adults, you all are in our physio free groups. We will be putting up the information there, and for children, we will be putting up on the parents, kids, children group about our eye exercises. Of course, for children, we have designed the module very differently. So we will. It will be a little different for children than what it was for adults, but it will be fun. Yes, Parinas, thank you for writing in the chat box. If anyone else has anything to share or any questions, we are fine to take. Otherwise, we can stop the session for today. Okay, join Vision Care. We will let you know, Mani, when we put up the class. We are still designing the program. We have 2 programs coming up. One is for posture care and one is for eye care in children. And we will be, we are just working on the dates and all that, since we are a little too packed at the moment. But as soon as we schedule, we will announce it. And do book your seats soon, because last time our posture care class got full immediately. And then some people who had paid have to be kept in the waiting list right now for the next class. So immediately, as soon as we announce, you register. And yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you very much.
You will be announcing on the sending messages on the number, because I got the message via.
If any one of you all are not in our parents kids free group, then please WhatsApp us directly and we will add you to that group.
Yeah, on the parents kids group.
You are on the yeah, so you will get
the
announcement will be done on the parents kids group. And in case you're not on the parents kids group, then you can just WhatsApp us on our personal number and we will add you to the parents kids group.
We'll be able to get, because for some other reason also I want to contact you.
Yeah, sure. You can contact. You have our personal numbers, right?
I would not know. It must be in the group. The number.
Yes. I will still put it up on the chat box.
Yeah,
and I'll just speak it out as well. It's 9619278872. 9619278872. You can get in touch with us on the personal number and we will guide you. Yes, and any other queries also, you all can always WhatsApp us on our personal chat, and we will help you sort out. We just see 1 or 2 questions in the chat box, if any. How do we reduce the number of the spectacles? Delnas, we need to work on the eye muscles so that the strain on the eye muscles is less. And if the strain on the eye muscles is less, the eye pressure is less, automatically your curvature of the eyeball improves and the spectacle number goes down. Yes. Yeah. Thank you everyone for your wonderful comments. We would love to hear from you all on the group as well. We will open the group chat for some time. Yes, and then we'll again close it because we don't want any forwards, etc. So we will open the chat. You all can put your reviews about today's class. Yes, it is possible. It is definitely possible, and many people have reduced their numbers with eye exercises. So it is very much possible to reduce your number. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. See you all. Bye. And we will soon be announcing some other interesting classes, free seminars, and so stay tuned. Yeah. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.